Let's go ahead and go to Karen in California. Karen wants to talk to us about the hijab. And she said that she wore it for a few days, and she kind of wrote some other stuff here. Karen, can you tell us more about this?
I will. Hi, Dan. How you doing? Hi, Veedu.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm really glad you're on there today because today's National Hijab Day,
yes.
And I would really like to ask some questions and talk a little bit about it. This is Karen, the former Pagan. Remember me?
I immediately remembered your voice. Yes, absolutely.
That's right. And I live in a city called Sacramento where we have a very high population that is from the Middle East, which includes many Muslims. And when I worked for a Fortune 500 company, when I was working for information technology, I had the two best friends I had at my company. One was an Indian who was a Hindu, and the other was a Muslim woman from Iran. And the three of us used to hang out, and I had so much fun with them. We would alternate Iranian Persian food with Indian food, and we just go back and forth to different restaurants for our lunch hours. And my friend, one time I had just really, this was back in 1997, 98, and I had really minor surgery on my face, and I didn't want to go to work with Band-Aids on my face. And now you got to keep in mind that this is the three of us with a Hindu, a Muslim, and a neo-pagan. It sounds like a joke, right?
Yeah, sounds like the beginning of a bad joke, I was going to say.
Yeah, that's right. And so my friend, who's from Iran, offered to make me a chador, which is, I believe that's the Persian word for hijab. And so that I could wear it to work and just, and I thought, well, this is a good idea because I'd like to see what that's like. And so I wore it for like almost a week. And I got to tell you, it was absolutely awful. It really was. My friend was so nice, so I didn't say anything to her, but it was so hot. And it wasn't even summer yet, and it was so restrictive. And I thought to myself, this would just be really hard. Well, years later, I decided to give up my paganism briefly, and I tried converting to another religion. And that religion, you cover your hair if you're a woman. And I hated it. I did that for 3.5 years, and I got to tell you, I will never cover my hair again. It is the most unfree feeling ever. And so I'm calling in because I want to say that I'm an atheist, and I've been a feminist since I was 10 years old. And I just feel very strongly that I would like to show support for any ex-Muslim women who are watching the show today that as a feminist, I do support you not wearing hijab. And I'd like to see what you guys have to say about it, because it's not just the...
Oh, I'm sure Veedu has tons to say about that.
Yeah. I think it's very oppressive to women, and there's also a big movement in the pagan community to bring back the head covering for women. And I just, what do you guys think about that?
I'm going to let you go ahead first.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for your sort of question and your sort of background. I've never heard of I don't know a lot about these sort of pagan religions or sort of way of life. And this is very sort of new to me that they also are encouraging head covering. But within a Muslim context, technically speaking, according to Islam, mainstream Islam, a woman is supposed to cover their hair from the age of puberty. So the moment in their mind, the moment you hit puberty, you are physically mature now. You are, so you have to cover your hair, you have to cover your body, and it depends in which countries. You don't have to wear the headscarf, but you still have to cover your body. There's a lot of clothing restrictions, and sort of it's a very, very socially conservative sort of environment for many Muslim countries. And I mean, like you said, it can feel quite oppressive. It can feel, some women say it's liberating, some women say it's oppressive. For me, you can end the debate by saying, if you want to wear it, wear it. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. But unfortunately, a lot of Muslim women around the world don't have that option. Even if you are growing up in the West, if you come from quite a conservative or a very practicing Muslim background, taking the hijab off can be a very, very big task, uphill struggle. So it is, it's crazy. It's a piece of cloth on your head, right? It's not like, you're walking around naked, but to a lot of Muslims, it is almost equivalent as if you are walking around naked if you don't wear a hijab.
Mm.
So there's been a lot of work done in Iran, especially. They've got the whole movement trying to, removing the hijab, burning the hijab, to show symbolically that women should have the choice to wear what they want. And it really is a struggle. And what I find really annoying about this whole hijab day is that you are completely denying the fact that many Muslim women around the world don't wear it because they want to. They wear it because they have to, or the cost of taking it off is too much. If you're about women's rights, then you should be celebrating choice and not the cloth. That's what I don't understand. You should be saying women should be allowed to wear what they want, work wherever they want, so on and so forth. Not, hey, hijab, hey, no. What do you mean, hey, hijab? A lot, this is, are you now supporting the clothing of sort of oppressive regimes like Iran and Saudi Arabia? And you call yourself feminists and people that fight for freedom? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, that's what's weirdest to me, Veedu, I have to say, because the people who kind of incorporate wearing the hijab as part of a feminist movement to me just seems kind of backwards in a lot of sense. I mean, a lot of people are, like you said, are wearing this because it's not their choice to wear. And if you have the choice and you want to wear the hijab, I don't have any problem with that. I don't think anybody should. And I understand that, hey, if you're a Muslim and like that's your way of showing respect towards your religion and towards your community and your values, like I don't, like, believe me, I get that, like totally.
Yeah.
But to force other people who clearly have said they don't want to wear it, who clearly has said, like, hey, I have had enough of Islam specifically, like if they've left the religion, if they're like, I don't want this a part of this anymore, this isn't who I am, this isn't what I want, to force someone to wear that after the fact, to me, I mean, that is, you can't spin that to me as a freedom movement thing. You know,
100%. I mean, you just said, like, if people don't want anything to do with Islam, forget about ex-Muslims, even Muslim women who don't want to wear it. They are struggling. You know, it's one thing to say, I left the whole religion, I don't care. There are Muslims women who are saying, you know what, I just don't want to wear it because I remember once in university, there was this Muslim woman, Muslim friend of mine who wore the hijab, and she said, you know what, I believe in Islam, but I just can't stand wearing the hijab. Like Karen was saying, it's really hot for her. She had this rash on her neck and it just made things worse. So she took it off, and that's great. But she could do that because she was in university. Her parents weren't around, and I don't think her parents really cared that much. But if she was from a more socially conservative background or in a Muslim country, trying to reason with your parents or community, say, I want to take it off because for X, Y, and Z reasons, good luck. Good luck. So all these feminists who are like, wear the hijab, yay. Nonsense. You should be celebrating choice, not the cloth. I honestly don't understand that. It's baffling for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully that gave you our thoughts on that, Karen.
Yes, and I think that's really good because I also would like to emphasize, again, I'm a feminist, have been almost my entire life, and I think that forcing a woman to dress a certain way is absolutely horrifying. And I have a really good friend, a male friend, every year he marches for women's rights in high heels, which all the men do. Wow. And I think all the men that think that women should wear hijab should wear a hijab in August and March and see what it feels like.
That's an interesting challenge. I'd love to see that happen. You should start a campaign for that. For sure. Oh,
wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate your thoughts, and I appreciate you talking about this today. It's especially important.
Of course. Thank you for calling in, Karen. You're always welcome to call back.
All right.
Yeah, fun stuff. Well, not fun stuff, actually. That's just my go-to phrase of when I'm ready to transition to something, but it's not fun stuff. Really, it's not. It's like, it does frustrate me I mean, and I am sure, I don't know if this is the feeling you get. I feel like the people who do say, oh, this is a pro-feminist thing, I feel like that's the minority. I don't have any numbers to back that up, but I don't feel like that's the majority of how people feel about this. If anything, I think people feel kind of in the middle about it, you know?
I think the vast majority of people are like, mate, wear what you want. I don't really care. You want to wear a hijab, wear it. If you don't want to wear a hijab, don't wear it. The problem with the hijab that it has become politicized. And like I was telling you before, I mean, I don't want to get political, but Muslims see themselves, unfortunately, some for good reasons, some for wrong reasons, as victims. And this piece of cloth is the sort of, I don't know, crown of victimhood. Like, oh, women and they're wearing hijab. And it is hard for some Muslim women wearing hijab because they can get attacked, and they have been attacked in the UK or in America for wearing the hijab. It's a very easy target.
Sure.
So there is that issue, which is a legitimate issue. But to use that as the symbol of feminism, when the vast majority of women who wear that in the Muslim world do not do so by choice, that for me is a dishonest strategy, and which does not reflect the reality that Muslim women don't have a choice in this. You could, if countries around the world were banning hijab, punishing women for wearing hijab, then you could say, I'm wearing the hijab out of protest.
Oh, yeah, right? Absolutely. I'd be for it. I'd be like, yeah, everyone should wear it
exactly
now.
Exactly.
Yeah, just as a protest. Yeah, it's a principle thing, right?
100%. Just to piss them off, I would wear hijab, but everyone would wear hijab, right?
Yeah.
You don't want us to wear this, we're gonna wear it. But I'm sorry to say, in reality, it's actually the opposite. So, what can I say?
Yeah, that's an excellent way to think about it. Actually, I've never thought about it like that. Kind of flipping it on its head, huh? That's really good. I have to save that one for later.